Good morning and welcome to Zen Fits. Zen Fits. Are we having a fit or does everything fit? And it's broadcasting today live from Pandora. You did see Avatar, didn't you? Everybody's waiting for the sequel now. Well, I don't want the sequel. I'm still working on the first one. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Avatar. The voyage of Jake Sully is our voyage, is your voyage. But we think it's in a movie. We think it's over there. We think it's entertaining. We think it's fantasy, science fiction. No. Yes, it is that. But at the same time, it's you. It's your story. It's your journey. It's your awakening. You see, Avatar is a story of Buddha, the awakening of Buddha. And who is Buddha? The one who is awakened. That's all. Buddha said that. Who are you? I'm just awake. But awakened one is not back there. Is not over there. The awakened one is not in the past. It's not in the future. And it's not now, if now is over there. No, the awakened one is you. First person, not third person. Remember, in Avatar, the sky people are the earth people, and the earth people are us. And for us, everything is an it. Everything is third person. Everything is person, place, or thing. Remember your English class? Third person grammar, everything is it. But what is it, you see? We measure the world as in its. How big is an it? Oh, it's about that big. Or it can be that big, you see. How big is all our jokes are about this, like, how big is the fish you caught? Oh, it's a big one. But just that, you see. So how big is an it? So everything is an it. But an it is measurable, but then an it isn't measurable. If everything is an it, if everything is something, it's it. Just think, how many times do we use it in our language? What is it? Or, just take a note. How many times do we use it? And how many times do we use I? So these two go together, I and it. Where there's an it, there's an I. Where there's an I, there's an it. They rise together. I, it, I, you see. And this is the world of the earth people, the sky people, us, But Pandora, if you go with Jake Sully into the wonder of Pandora, you'll notice that everything in Pandora is thou. There are no its in Pandora. Only thou. Martin Buber, famous philosopher, mapped this out in his book, I, Thou, that there are two ways of knowing. I, it and it and I. And I, thou. See, now I, thou takes the it and the I and puts them together is thou. So there is no it in thou. Thou is first person grammar. I am. I am thou. Thou is I am thou. There's no it's or separation in thou. In first person, there's only one person. And you're it. The first person is Buddha. From the beginning, all beings are Buddha. Which means all beings are thou, which means all beings are one awakening or knowing. But what we do in our language is separate knowing into I know it. Now we've got a world that I live in. And I run around in this world with a tape measure, measuring all the its. And I measure the good ones and the bad ones. And I say, oh, this is a bad it, and this is a good it. We'll keep the good its and get rid of the bad its. But the its keep multiplying faster than we can measure them. Why? Because something is missing. I can't measure myself. I can't measure I. But what do I want to know more than anything else in the world? I want to know who I am. But I try to find out who I am with a measuring tape. I even make myself an it. Who are you? Well, I'm a husband, I'm an American, I'm it, I'm this it, and I got a lot of its that I am. I'm happy, I'm unhappy, that's an it. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm anxious, that's an it, you see. So I keep making myself into its or the world into its. Everywhere I go, there's an it. Everywhere I go, but they multiply faster than I can measure them. I think I got everything measured. I think I got everything set. I got all bills paid. I think I got everything just so. And then it happens. Then it happens. Oh, damn, another it, you see. Anyway, so The Voyage to Pandora. Hope you would watch the movie again. It's very deep. I found it the most profound movie I've ever watched, next to Zorba the Greek. And it keeps on giving. Keeps on. I even have a page I keep writing on, The Voyage to Pandora. It's a gift that keeps on giving because it's a universal formula for your awakening. And your awakening is your discovery that where you are is a wondrous place. There's no its. And now, there's only it in the past and the future. And we make it's in now, so I'm here and it's over there. But when we're really here, there's no it. There's just here. And here is thou. And that's Pandora. So anyway, this morning I just got writing on, Pandora came to my mind, and a new way of seeing Pandora. So the metaphor of Pandora, for me, just keeps on giving. It's like Einstein's MC E equals MC squared. It's kind of like a formula for reality. So in that way, Pandora, Avatar, is a metaphor, is a formula by which to wake up. If you apply the formula to everything in your situation, you open it up. You open it up. It up into thou. And when thou open up, you are the situation. You're not outside of the situation. You're not outside of experience. You're not, that sun keeps shifting here. You're not outside of experience, you are experience. Where can you go that your experience is not? Think about that. Where can you go that your experience is not? Can you get outside of your experience? Well, we think we can, and we do it by making the experience in it. Oh, I had a good experience. What was it? I don't know what it was. It's like a fill in the blank. Zoop. Everything goes into that it. But whenever you make anything in it, you also make the I that is outside of it. So our very language, our third-person language, which is so productive in making its, that's why we use it. You want to make anything? You want to make it? Use third person. You're a mechanic. Third person is the language of the mechanic. This machine is in it, and I'm going to fix it. But the I is not in there. The surgeon, is not working on the body. The mechanic is not working on the engine, on himself. So if you go to a psychologist, then he'll work on you because you're it. Now the psychologist or the therapist is not working on himself, he's working on you as an it, you see. So no, when we use this language, the I-it language, and we can't help but use it because it's the dominant language of our world, because it's so successful, the scientific method that was born at the end of the Middle Ages was the birth of a viewpoint of this mechanic who is outside of nature and can work on it. In the Middle Ages, you weren't able to get outside of nature. You were in a hermetically sealed world. But with the modern age, Newton and Descartes, 16th century, the viewpoint of the scientist was born and the machine. And so the world became a clock or a machine that man or you could work on because you made it into an it. This was so successful now that we can't think outside of that third person. Thinking is third person language. First person is forgotten. The I, the mechanic, is forgotten when he works on the machine. But the mechanic and the machine are really one, you see. That's where quantum came in and just blew the scientific method apart, but only on the subatomic level. Above the subatomic world, in the conscious world, we still work in I-it. I'm working on it, but I'm separate from it. Otherwise, I couldn't work on it. But in first person, you are it. There is no separation. There's only one person. I am. And that's Buddha. Buddha is the awakening of I am. And in Avatar, Jake Sully wakes up to I am. And he sits up at the end. And you don't know what it is. You don't know where he is. He wakes up as you. In the end, he wakes up as you in first person. I am Jake Sully. Jake Sully is me. So awakening in Zen Buddhism, which is the frame I work in, awakening is where you are Jake Sully and you are not Jake Sully. If you say I am Jake Sully, you probably go run around people that say they, like Star Trekkers or whatever, they run around in a Star Trek, or you think you're Napoleon in the ward. He says, well, I am Napoleon. And so you get in a fight with the other Napoleons in the ward, you see. So being Jake Sully is not it. And being not Jake Sully is not it. So you see these two things. I'm not Jake Sully. Avatar is a movie. It's over there. I'm here. I'm not it. But then if you become deluded and then you think you are Jake Sully or the hero, well, then they put you away. You went into the movie and you can't get out. You got lost in the movie. The actor thinks he's the character and he can't get out of it. Make movies about that. We figure, and so it's not one or the other. So awakening is when you're both. First person and third person. They're different, but they can't be separated. Thanks for dropping in. Have a Zen Fit today. Let me turn this off.